Good afternoon, everybody. Aaron Rath here from Rat's Tesla, and today we're going to do something that we haven't done in a couple videos, and we haven't really installed anything from this company in quite a while, and that's from our friends over at Hansshow. They have a new screen for your Tesla 3 or Model Y. I've put a couple of their screens in my car in the past. I had the big 10-inch, blocked a lot of the venting, and then I had the little 4-inch that went on the backside of the steering wheel. I've had the little monitors that went between the vents. So we've done it all. But today we are unboxing and installing and reviewing the new 6.86-inch LCD mini instrument cluster. So let's get to unboxing this. Again, this is from our friends over at Hansshow. In this box, we got a great thank you card telling us thanks for purchasing, and make sure you share it on social media, which is what we're doing. Then we got another card. This card tells us exactly what's in the box, what tools are required. On the back side, it's kind of cool. You got barcodes for an installation manual and an installation video. So if you get caught up and you don't follow mine, or you like to read as you install, then make sure you use your phone to open up this install manual. Inside the box, then, we have this cool piece, and this is what makes this screen a little bit fun and neat. This is a front-facing camera that you can mount on the front of your car. It goes underneath where the vent goes. I've kind of thought about if I want to put it under my lip. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, simply because I think I might take a rock in it and break the camera. So I'll probably put this where it belongs. It's pretty small. It's pretty hard to see. But if you don't have ultrasonic sensors on your car, if you have a newer Tesla Model 3 or Y, this would be perfect for you. You can order it without the front-facing camera when you get on the website. But if you don't have ultrasonic sensors, this is probably a pretty good option for you. Then we pull out the screen, and the screen has, like I said, it's 6.86 inches from corner to corner diagonally. Has two wires coming out of the bottom of it. This one's for the power and connection to the computer, and then this yellow one is for the camera, and we'll get to that when we get to the installation. But a nice looking little screen, and the videos of it that I've seen of it are really impressive, the things that it can do. It can do over-the-air Bluetooth updates, so that's kind of neat. And then something that Hansshow started doing a little bit ago, well, first they always give you a nice pry tool, and this one a little bit harder plastic, so this one looks like it's a little bit more durable. But what they do is they give you the cabling for both types of chips in one cable. Used to be, when you ordered from Hansshow, you had to tell them if you had an Intel or the new AMD chip. But now you can actually get it. It doesn't matter, because it comes with the cable split out, and they label it very clearly on here for you. So this one, for example, is the Intel plug. And then if you have the AMD chip, the newer chip, then you're going to use these two plugs. One is the power plug, and the other one is the connection to the computer. So if you have an AMD chip, a newer Tesla Model Y, you're going to use these two. A 2021 or older, you'll use this one. I have the older one, a 2021 Model Y, so we're going to use this to install it, and we'll get to that in just a second. But you're just going to take these cables then and kind of tuck them out of the way and put them away so that they don't need to be used. And then that's it. That's what's in the box. So without further ado, let's take this stuff out in the garage and let's get this installed in the Tesla Model Y. I already showed you the unboxing. It's time to do the install. So we've laid this out in 3 groups. We have our front-facing camera, our wiring, and the screen itself. Now, when I do things, I like to kind of set things up for the install. So there's a few panels that have to be popped off. You have to pop this panel off on both sides. So on the driver's side, it's really just to take the dash off on the passenger side, it's where you're going to run most of your wiring. So you're going to pop both those off and set those to the side. And then inside the car, we need to take the dash off. So I'm going to set you down and let's get the dash popped off. And then the other thing we have to take off that we'll do while the camera is set up different is we have to take off this part of the dash. And we can do that right now simply by taking the pry tool that we got and just kind of prying it underneath there. And you'll see it kind of starts to separate and you'll see it pop loose. But we need the steering wheel in a different position. So in order to do that, we have to go into settings. We have to go to steering wheel. Let me see here. I'm sorry, controls. And we have to go to steering adjustment. And we are going, you want the steering wheel all the way down. So you're going to use the left wheel to go all the way down. And then we want it all the way out. So you're going to push it to the left to bring it all the way out. And that clears this space up and makes it easy that once we have the dash off to pop this piece off, because this is where the new one is going to sit. So let's set down the camera and let's get the dash and the part of the steering column taken off. Okay, so now to take off the dash, you have to do it from two sides. The easiest way to do it is to come to the passenger side and just kind of get under the edge here and pop it up. And it'll roll all the way across. I also have my lighting, which by the way, I'm getting new lighting. And then you just kind of reach over and kind of pull it out. And you're going to want to go up and over the main dash to pull this out. And you're going to set your dash aside, come back over to the steering column, and we're going to take this steering column piece off. So I have old wiring in here that I didn't remove in case I wanted to put a different screen back on. But on the back side here is two little pop rivets. You just got to pop those out. And basically, those are holding this leather piece that goes between the steering column and the dash on. So you just kind of pop those out, and then this little piece will pop out. So once you have those two, then you can just kind of pop these and just pull on this little plastic piece in the middle, and those come undone and they're free flapping. Then you just got to pry this little plastic piece and just pop them loose, and you're just going to kind of work your way up, and then you just got to kind of work your way up. You just want to be careful not to break the tabs that are in there and pull it forward. So it sticks up underneath here. There's a couple pieces. You can pop this out, and that makes it easier sometimes. But I always have a bugger getting this off without trying to break anything. So now mine pop back in on this side and reconnected. There we go. So then once this comes up, you have this little leather piece on here. So you're just going to kind of pop this loose. You can see underneath that it's got these little pop tabs. And really all you have to do is just kind of pop these, squeeze them together with your fingers and push them through. As I say that it's easy, that mine doesn't work. And then it's just kind of got a little slide tab on here on the side. So you're just going to kind of slide that off and then pop these all out. And then this piece comes off. Set this aside. Don't get rid of it in case you want to go back to the stock piece. Then to put this on, it's just reverse. So we're just going to take the new one, kind of flip the wires up over the front. And we're going to take these and just pop them in. You can hear them clicking in, popping in place, and then you're going to take these little hooks and hook them up over the top. I don't know if you can see that right there. You're just going to hook those up over the top on both sides. So once you have that done and them hooked over both sides, all that, this piece is ready to go back on the car. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to wait. Now I said there's some other pieces that have to come out. The front, the whole frunk inside needs to come out because one, well, I'm putting the camera underneath, and the camera underneath means that we have to take the whole piece out. So let's gather our tools and then let's get this taken out. All right, so to take this out, there's 4 bolts that you have to take out. There's 2 here, and then there's 2 inside. So we're going to take those out real quick. And I just throw them in the tub so that I don't lose them. And then you just have to pop the light panel that's on the front loose so that this whole tub can come out. Just grab your fingers underneath there, and then you'll have to unplug your light that's in there. And this is only if you want the camera installed. If you don't want the camera installed, you do not have to worry about doing this part of the installation. I have a different light set installed here, so I have extra plugs that I have to unplug from that. You also have to pop this front coil off. So just kind of grab underneath there and you'll hear it pop off. And then set that aside. And then because we popped that, there's also one little plastic rivet up here holding the pan in place. So we have to pop that, and that is holding the windshield washer fluid fill to the pan. So once you get that pulled, make sure you set this aside. This is what it looks like. This is what you're popping out. Once you get that taken out, just throw everything in the pan, and then you can take the whole frunk out of the car. Just lift it up and pull. And like I said, I have an extra light, so have to take care of that. Now, there's 2 things you got to find here, and we'll get to them in a bit, where you have to fish the wire through. There's a spot back here to fish the wire into the cabin, and then you have to fish the wire underneath here to be able to mount the camera underneath. But let's go ahead and let's get back inside and let's work on the install inside the car. All right, the last pieces that we have to take apart are inside the car, and they are up underneath that console right there. We have to pull all that down so that we can get inside here. So we have to pull this piece out here. So use your pry tool to get back in here and just kind of pop this one loose and lift it up. So this connects and hooks on the bottom. So you just pop the top loose and pull this out, and then that opens this all up. And we're going to need this underneath here all opened up and loose. And like I said, I still have some wiring in here from another install that I did that I never removed. I just unplugged it and took it away. So we're going to take that out today while we're in there. All right, so now I got to crawl up underneath here and take these other tabs out from underneath here. Let's see if we can take you along for the ride. So up here, there are tabs that have to be taken out to be able to take this bottom panel off. So we have to take this bottom panel off, and then we have to take this side panel and just kind of peel it back out of the way, and that will allow us to get to what we need to. So I'm going to do that off camera because it's really hard to do it with the camera in the way as well. So there we go. Once you have that done, you can just kind of pull this aside, and then we have one more down here holding the carpet in place. So we're going to pop that loose, or try to. There we go. Ooh, don't lose that. You're going to want that later. Oh, there it goes. It slid out to the side. And that allows this carpet to come loose. And then what that does is that gives you room under here for all the wiring and the plug that you have to go to. So the plug you have to plug into is way up top here. So we'll follow this wire, and I don't even know if you can see, but it is up here along this computer, and yeah, it's not easy to get to. It takes a contortionist. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll show you what we got. Also, remember, I have the Intel, so I only have one plug to deal with. So I only have to deal with this piggyback plug. The AMD plugs, I'm just going to tuck in out of the way, but we're going to get this plugged into the car right now. Okay, before I pack and put the other side back together, I'm going to do a quick test run here and plug in the connector here. So let's see if I can do this one hand. I don't think I can. I'm going to set you down real quick. So I plug the connector in, and there you go. You can see that the screen is working. So that's a good sign. So now we can work on getting the camera put in place now that we have the screen part working. Then we'll come back and do the install and put everything back together. For this next part, you need a fish tape. This is a fish tape. It's a tough wire so that we can fish the line through. We have two spots we have to fish the camera line through. First off is this one in here. Let's see if I can get it. See that little grommet right there, that rubber grommet? We've got to pull this to the side and fish the wire through there. And then on the front down here, sorry about that noise, sliding something to knee on. Down here, we have to fish through here and up into the car part. So I'm going to do that off camera, get that done, and then I'll show you the end result. All right, so fishing is done. The front part, here's the camera. It fished all the way through over into that corner and up. I don't know if you can see it, but the wire's nice and hidden. Then it comes in back here. You can see it right there. Runs along the side. Make sure to tuck it behind here and underneath here. And then get the light back here. You can see the wire going next to that grommet. And that comes out in the cabin on the passenger footwell. Back up top there. And then I just have the wire laying here. Now I have to get all the wiring run over to the steering wheel column so I can get that put together. So let's set the camera up and let's start putting the steering wheel column part together. Then we'll clean up our wiring. Okay, so you want to make sure that you run this other one out the side, like I said. So pull that pin, get these kind of pulled off to the side. Oop, I keep pushing it back in too early. There we go. So get those in place, push that little plastic pin in and get it in place. And now you should be able to move your steering wheel. Then I take my cables and I like to clean it up and make it look nice. And I use something called gaff tape. You can get it on Amazon. It's kind of expensive. It's a very clean duct tape, so it's used by radio and TV. And what it does is it doesn't leave residual stickiness on your wires. So I like to use gaff tape to just tape my cables down in here nice and neat. And that way they're out of the way, because you want to make sure they're not in a spot where your dash clips are going to push down on them. So as I said, you just want to come over here and just kind of put these wires in here nice and neat. Kind of tuck them around the AC vent there. Tape them down. Tape them down all the way across. You don't have to tape them down. Like I said, I like to do it because, one, it keeps them out of the way of the dash, and two, I just know that it's a clean install then, and I don't have to worry about it. Then once you have it all cleanly across, and I'll show you how mine looks coming across, you can see I go around and just kind of tape it in place, and then you've got this mess over here. Now it's just a matter of putting everything back together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to show you the finished product, and we'll do a quick review and walkthrough of this new screen with front-facing camera. Everything's installed all clean, and now we are going to go through and show how this works. So you have to be in gear. If you're not in gear, it doesn't go to that screen. So now you can see we have this screen. We're going in reverse. We're going to back out here and kind of just sit by the street and just kind of mess with things a little bit. Actually, I think we're going to pull up because the sun's going to suck. So have it there. We're just going to leave it sit there. Now we're going to change some of the settings. To change the settings, I believe you hold that to the right. That's how you change the different UIs you want. So there's 3 different user interfaces. There's this one, then there's this one, which is the one I think I like. And then there's this one. Now, we'll put it on the one I like. To change the settings, you use your right scroll wheel and you hold it to the left, and that brings this up. Now we're just going to scroll through everything and set it. So we want it on English. I'm not sure what my UTC time is. I think it's, but basically you're going to scroll through here and just kind of change the settings that you want. When you get to a spot where you want to change a setting, you press the right wheel. So I want it on 12-hour, and I want US speed limit on. I want my tire pressure on PSI. I want my car. The cool thing is you can now change the color of your car. I'm going to leave mine on night all the time because the stuff I saw said that there were some issues during the day just being able to see it. So I'm going to leave mine on night, and I got to go back and change my UTC time. I think I'm -6. So we're going to go to -6 and see if that gets us where we need to be. Now, to go back, we go back to save and hit that. Hit the left button, and it brings us back up, and I am -6. So now you can see I have my speed limit at 25, my miles per hour. I have my range in miles down here. I have the gear I'm in. I have the outside temperature. I have my odometer, all my lights across the top, and my current time. My car is now red, and my speedometer is at 0. So on here, on the dials, on the left side you have miles per hour, and on the right side you have the horsepower that's being used, which I think is kind of cool. So right now everything matches what's on the screen here, so that's good. So I want to see something once, because on this one, and I may leave this one on because I do like the fact that on this one it shows both percentage and miles, your gear, your odometer, outside temperature, your time, miles per hour, your horsepower, and then all your indicator lights that are across the top. So if I put it in reverse, you can see we switch to R, and yeah, we go backwards. So let's put on our seatbelt. And let's see if we can do a quick drive. I do like how well it shows through my new steering wheel. But let's see if we can. All right, so I had to jump out because my garage door was about to close on my tripod. So let's try this again. Put it in reverse, go back. Angle to go down my curb because of my new coil I put on lowering my car. And then let's go forward. Not sure why I have a seatbelt light on there, considering I'm fully buckled. You can see that hold is on. All right. Kick the horsepower up. I probably threw myself back too far. You couldn't see it. Here's the other cool thing. Look, I'm going to put it in autopilot. And I'm going to get a please pay attention to the road, so I'm going to turn it off. But it'll start giving you all the warnings. There's the blinker. You can see the blinker popping on. Let's just pull over here real quick and look at the different, so on this one, if I put the blinker on, it's in the same spot, same there. I do think I like this UI a little bit better. But yeah, everything seems to be working well. If you want to look at the front-facing camera, you just hold this button down, and then it brings up your camera, and now you can see your front-facing camera. Want to turn it off, you hold the button down again, or I'm sorry, you push it to the left, and that'll turn the camera off. And then you can come back to your user interface. So let's kind of pull over here and finish up this video. All right, so that'll do it for today's video. Our quick install from our new screen and front-facing camera from our friends at Hansshow. You can check them out at hautopart.com. Make sure you use Rat's Tesla at checkout. Get you a nice little discount on this and anything else that you throw in your cart. This is able to be used. So this is a nice, clean, easy installation. I know I've had a few of these in the past, and most of them I've taken off. I actually think that this one I'm going to leave on. I like that the AC comes over the top of it. It's a clean install. It looks like it belongs there, and we're going to leave it. So that'll do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. As always, get out, go drive, be safe, and have fun. We will catch you in the next video.